minor. My name is Hal, and my pronouns are they, them, theirs. When I was a kid, I was like that tomboyish kid. Going into around middle school, high school was like when I felt dis-ease. Like there's like some sort of dissonance of like how I felt I needed to present and how I felt comfortable. There's a lot of pressure of like, oh, being a girl, this is what girls do, this is what girls look like, shaving your legs, like wearing feminine clothes. Previously, I would like have really long hair and I would grow it out, and then I would cut it and donate it and grow it out and cut it and donate it. But then like at some point I was like, you know what, I kind of want to, well, I got a little undercut in my hair. I had that taste of like short hair, and then there was no going back. So then I really wanted to like cut all of my hair to like make it a pixie cut, which was like maybe the only like real experience of dysphoria I've ever felt, which is just my hair, which is super easy to fix. You just cut it. And so I did, but I felt much more comfortable. And then I went to this student diversity leadership conference. So I had like 1,600 students in a room. And so they went through like, stand up if you're a man, stand up if you identify as a woman. And then I was like, well, definitely not a man. Don't really like the idea of being a woman. So then like, stand up if you identify as non-binary, genderqueer. And I was like, well, sure, that seems about right. And then I stood up, and like since then, like there's been no turning back. That's just how I felt.
I'm Alex, and my pronouns are they, them. I was assigned female at birth. I kind of knew that something was different about me probably at like around 7 years old. I had this ritual where I would use the sink to like wet my hands and make my hair wet and like push it back behind my ears to like make my hair look more like a boy's haircut and just like stare at myself. I came out to my parents, wrote them a letter, gave my mom the letter. I definitely cried while she was like, oh yeah, you think we didn't know this about you? In the sense that she thought, yeah, it's okay to like to do boy things as long as you're still a girl. And I was just like, that's not what's going on here. So that year was my senior year of high school, and I got incredibly depressed. And it wasn't until I was like literally on the verge of killing myself. Yeah, I had to be like an inpatient in a psych ward until they realized, oh, this is like actually something serious that needs to be dealt with in order for like my child to continue being my child. I was like really ashamed of being trans. So in the psych ward, the second that I said that I had a lot of gender dysphoria, all of the light bulbs went off, and they were like, oh. I started taking hormones and also got top surgery, which is the thing that I think helped me the most mentally to feel more okay with my body than ever. I identify as mainly non-binary, but also a trans boy. I've been going through my whole life existing in between two already established places. People are telling you you either belong to one or the other, but the whole time you're like, no, like this is my space and I want you to recognize it as a real thing that is happening and has been happening with people who look like me, who don't look like me, and who are everywhere, but they are invisible because you keep erasing them by forcing them to choose one side or the other.
I'm Finn Todd. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. To me, I guess it means moving through the whole continuum of gender and to try and find a self that works best for me. I guess it was last spring. I was coming back from an amusement park visit, and I was on the purple line, and I ended up getting harassed by a chaser. Those functional considerations have held me back from trying to move more femme. The idea of increased harassment, or in our modern economic and political situation, like being harder to get a job or housing. It's hard to tell who's conceptually good with the idea of gender variance, and people get weird about it in ways it's hard to anticipate. Right now, it's mostly just limited to like, I don't know, longer hair and socks, but hoping to start expanding my wardrobe more soon. Kind of experimenting every day to see what feels the most true to myself, and it's nice being able to sample from everything to do that.
I've kind of like come towards like a more equal balance, but I get to like see which sides and kind of just like play around with like, oh, masculinity, femininity.
It's not about being non-binary as much as it is finally undoing what other people have said that I am or should be, and like remaking who I always was.